So hello, walkthrough of the Gaian Tarot Second Edition. I haven't actually been able to see one of these. I wanted to buy this, so I wanted to make one for you. So you would be able to see all of the cards and how it is. It's a huge box. This is my hand. The box is big. It comes in a snap. And this is the box. I have already taken the cards out. They come in, half the cards go over here and half of them go over here like that. And the other half would go over like that. It comes with a book, which is as big as the box. Huge, huge book. So it is made by Red Feather Publishing. That is the back, the Gaian Tarot. And there is a lot of information in this book. It talks about, we have a lot of colored pictures in the book. There's the thank you. It gives the table of contents. Tarot structure using the book. It talks about the major arcana. And then it goes straight into the major arcana. And with the major arcana, it will give you, this is the major. You will get the name of the card, the seeker, which would be the Fool. It would talk about the card. It will talk about when you get this card in a reading. It also gives you the shadow side of the card. It gives you symbols, deepening your understanding of the seeker. Here's the symbols. And you get even more over here. So over on the other page, I can't see, it's still giving the symbols and journal prompts, journal questions, and like a little mantra of what to remember. So, and that is the last major card. And then we get into the minor arcana. When we get finished, we'll read one. We'll pick a card and read from the book. But then it gives us our minor arcana. And it talks about the elements because instead of swords, wands, cups, and pentacles, we get air, fire, water, and earth. It talks about numerology and the numbers through the arcana, through the minor arcana, the major arcana. It talks about the people, the court cards. The children in this deck will be the pages. The knights will be the explorers. The guardians will be like the queens. And then the elders will be the kings. And the way that this is set up in the book, we have the aces. It'll be all the aces. You don't get as much information with the minor, but you get plenty of information. You get the colored card. It talks about the card, what this card is, and reading the shadow side of the card, and your little mantra or remembrance. And it goes like that. And then it goes through the twos, the threes, the fours. This deck is a very earthy Gaia deck. So most of it, I feel like, is like the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith, but then there's some cards in here that I think aren't. You could use it as a tarot deck for sure. You could also use it as an oracle deck. And then it goes all the way into working with the cards, a card a day, the art of asking questions. I'm reading the shadow sides, wisdom statements, affirmations, blessings, spreads, and it gives you quite a few spreads. Quite a few spreads. And we have, trying to look, there is 191 pages in this book, and then this talks about the creator, who is Joanna Powell Colbert. Joanna Powell Colbert. There is a first edition. I think it's almost identical, except for I think the borders are blue. This is the back of the book. So let's take a look at the cards. And the first of our major arcana, we have the Fool card, which is called the Seeker card. Very Rider-Waite-Smith, traditional looking. You could definitely tell. It's a fox instead of a dog, and she has her knapsack on the back. She's going on her journey. Oh, I forgot to show you the back of the cards. The back of the cards are super beautiful. They are not reversible. But the book does give a shadow side. And we have gold gilding on the side of all the cards. I guess this deck could be modified. I wouldn't want to do it because I wouldn't want to lose the gold gilding. But they're about as big as an oracle card, I would say. So this is our magician card with all the elements, drumming up some high energy there to perform his a ritual or magic. We have the High Priestess here, which I do like. I like decks with the High Priestess sometimes as an older person instead of a very young person. And the number 3, this is our Empress, and in this deck she has been named the Gardener. This is our abundance, our Mother Earth, our divine feminine card. And we have the Emperor, which the name of the Emperor has been changed to the Builder, which I do kind of like that, because the Emperor could also be considered structure, a structured place. So I don't hate the name changes. And in this one, this is number 5. We have the Teacher, which would be the Hierophant. And in all honesty, I like the name better. I like, instead of it being a more religious theme, I like that it's more nature-based. I do. It's the Lover's card. I also think this deck is very diverse, which I do like that too. And we have the Canoe, which would be the Chariot, which, you know, would definitely make sense, would be easy to read if you're used to reading with the Rider-Waite-Smith. As the Strength card also would be. We have our Hermit here. He's a little bit different, but I do like it. He's doing things with his solitude with his dark night of the journey of the soul. He's taking notes. He's journaling. He's in introspection. He's making notes about it. And he has his lantern sitting on his rock. He's burning him some sage down at the bottom. He has the wise old owl up at the top and a purple robe, which kind of gives Merlin vibes. 10 is the Wheel of Fortune, which it has all the seasons, Wheel of the Year. I couldn't think. So, yeah. Again, so far very easy to read. We have the Justice card here. He's holding the heart, and on the other side, a feather, which we've seen this in a lot of Justice cards. And instead of the Hanged Man or the Hanged One, we have the Tree, which is in a yoga pose. This Death card is, I like it too. We have an old shipwrecked boat with a dead bird on it, but we have flowers growing up through the boat. Death and rebirth. Temperance. Again, this is very Rider-Waite-Smith. And we have Bindweed. This would be our Devil card. I like this. The weeds have grown up and has wrapped itself around this person, or its legs, and seemingly all the crows sitting up at the top, and he's got his hands on his ears, and like you would feel if you were dealing with the Devil card. The Lightning card would be the Tower card, which this really looks like a Tower card. You got the people falling out of the sky, lightning, divine intervention, whatever you want to call it, jolt. And we have the Star card, which is beautiful. Hope. We have the Moon card with the different moon phases, and the wolf howling at the moon. I have a wolf and an owl instead of a wolf and a dog. We've got the emotions going on in the background with the water and the ocean. The Sun card, which is usually a child or a baby on a horse. So I do like this Sun card. And we have the Awakening card, which would be the Judgment card. Lovely. Also very, very similar to the Rider-Waite-Smith. You should be able to pick up on that. And then we have the World card, which is Gaia, the world. We will do the Pentacles, or the Earth. And I gotta tell ya, I love this Ace of Earth. This little deer, oh my god, it's so cute and so fresh and newborn, and just what a great meaning with that, and a beautiful picture. The Two of Earth, which would be the Two of Pentacles. Balancing The Three of Earth, again, this would be very readable for Rider-Waite-Smith. Working together, collaboration. The Four of Earth, also, again, very readable with the Rider-Waite-Smith. I've seen a squirrel putting back acorns for the winter for the Four of Pentacles or the Four of Earth. Or you can take the time and look at all the symbolism, which I'm not going to take time to do all that, but it's all in the book if you, or you can read it intuitively. This Five of Earth, it's a pretty heavy card. It's very readable too. Sleeping outside, like in a handmade little tent made out of branches. The Six of Earth, also very, very traditional. The Seven of Earth, also very traditional. The Eight of Earth, and I really like this Eight of Earth. Instead of the one guy pounding the pentacles, he's teaching her how to play. He's teaching his daughter or his niece or student how to play, and until she gets to the level of perfection, just playing over and over. So practice makes perfect, and continue going. You're getting there. I like this card. The Nine of Earth. Again, very Rider-Waite-Smith. We do have the little bird up in the corner. Content, abundance. And we have the Ten of Earth. It's a little bit different than our normal Rider-Waite-Smith traditional version. Here's our Child of Earth, which would be the Page. The little bunnies in the apple tree. And this Explorer of Earth, like the stag in the background, and beautiful. This would be our Knight of Pentacles. And taking care of the land. This is our Guardian, which I said this is a very diverse deck. Usually this would be the Queen and the Rider-Waite-Smith, but as we know, we can take on the Divine Feminine or Masculine. So this is the Guardian of Earth. With the corn, taking care of the earth. And this is our Elder of Earth, which is usually the king. That's just spinning away. Our Elder of Earth. Okay, so that was our earth card. Ups, our water cards. So we have the Ace of Water, which we have a little fish here. And I gotta tell you, I do love this Two of Cups here. Usually it's a couple that's in love, but you know, sometimes it's not about that. Sometimes when you do a reading, it could be about your pets, it could be about a best friend, it could just be about one of your children, some of your family, some of your community, just somebody that you really, really care about. And this card, like, it's her pet, her dog with the waterfall in the background. I really, really love that. The Three of Water, I love this. A very Rider-Waite celebration, having a good time. the Four of Water, which is the Four of Cups. I don't think this one is so Rider-Waite-Smith, but I did take a peek at the book for this one, and it looks like that she is, or the book talks about her giving her attention down in an old well, I believe in Edinburgh, and she is zoned in, like she's skyring, like you would sky her in a bowl of water, in a black mirror. So she's not paying attention to anything else around her. She is concentrating on that, which, you know, you may not know that when you first see it, but like I said, you could use them as oracle cards and read it intuitively. Or you could use them as tarot cards and read it any way you want. There's no rules. There's no rules. This Five of Water, I definitely think this could be the grief card, like it is in the Rider-Waite-Smith. Having her grief alone. The Six of Water, very nostalgic memories. The Seven of Water, again, very Rider-Waite-Smith with all the different cups and choices. Except for in this one, he's already picked his cup. This is the Eight of Water, which in the Eight of Cups, you know, they're walking away from all the material gains and things that they love. And in this card, she's swimming upstream, which is a lot harder to do. So she's going somewhere, and it's going to be hard, but she's going to get there. She is working it. She is trying. This is the Nine of Water, our wish card, which I'm looking to see if that's some sort of a healing springs or some sort of a wishing well. It's something divine for sure. So that is our wish card. This is the Ten of Water, our little Child of Water, a little Page of Cups, the Explorer of Water, our little Dreamer, Romanticizer. Knight would be our Knight of Cups. This is our Guardian of Water, which would be our Queen of Water. And the Elder of Water, which I love this Elder of Water. It almost makes me think of the King of Cups in the This Might Hurt Tarot. It's an older man in a boat with a hat on, with a beard. It's giving that vibe to me. So that was one of my favorite King of Water cups. So this makes me think of that. Okay, next we have the Ace of Air. With this Ace of Air, we have the little, it looks like a little snake or a lizard. I think it's a snake. Hatching out of an egg, a new beginnings, clarity. He can see all the films off his eyes. Two of Fire. Now this is a different take on the Two of Wands for me. To me, this looks kind of like the Two of Cups. They look like they're fixing to get down. So I can't really. That's the way I would read it. I don't know what the book says. Maybe that's the one we'll pull. But anyway, that is the Two of Air. Maybe they're deciding together where to go. But yeah, they're very close. They got their hands on each other's rumps. So And the Three of Air. I mean, Three of Fire. I've been saying air. That's the Two of Fire. Two of Fire. The Three of Fire, which is the Three of Wands. Usually in the Three of Wands, he's standing at the ocean with the Three Wands. So this is a little different too. But this could read for that. She's really sassy, and she is, I think she has got her plans together and is moving on with it. I wonder if that's the same lady as is over here. Maybe she done hooked up and she's happy about it. So, the Three of Fire. I do like the Four of Fire. This is usually some sort of a celebration, a wedding, a birthday, a get-together of something that's been accomplished. But I like that this person is alone and doing their own little ritual, and they're celebrating their love for life, and they're just celebrating themselves. So I do like this card. The Four of Wands, Four of Fire. And the Five of Fire, which in the traditional Rider-Waite, that's a lot of wands. A lot of people like having a competition or beating the crap out of each other, but maybe this is just blowing out some hot air, and he's letting all the hot air out instead of taking action to fight with somebody or go into competition. He is just getting by himself and just letting it roll. There could be a lot of cuss words up in that fire. It do look like there's a lot of faces around. So maybe he's just venting into the void. Who vents into the void? I do sometimes. The Six of Fire, which is in the Rider-Waite, that's the one coming in on the horse from battle. And this would be readable for that because they're obviously celebrating this one person here who is, what is she doing? She's doing some sort of a dance, some sort of a ritual. Everybody else is beating drums and clapping, and she is the center of attention. So they're celebrating something that she has done. The Seven of Fire, which would be the Seven of Wands. It almost looks like the Eight of Pentacles. But it looks like she's a blacksmith, and she's doing her purpose. So she is working. Seven of Fire. You guys just want to take a look? I just want to take a look and see. Seven of Fire. Let's see what it says. A blacksmith stands at a forge, raising her hammer high to strike the red-hot iron rod. The scent of rain-soaked autumn woods mixes with the pungent aroma of burning coals and hot metal. The smith's heartbeat races as she pounds the glowing iron bar into the shape she desires. It takes great strength and determination to bend iron to your will. The smith wears an amulet in the shape of Thor's hammer around her neck. She draws on the power of the Viking god of thunder. As sparks like lightning fly from her hammer, she knows that nothing can keep her from accomplishing her desire. When you get this card in a reading, it's time for you to take a risk for personal growth and stand up for your authentic self. Okay, it does say stand up for yourself, which would be in the Rider-Waite Smith. To me personally, that would be kind of hard to draw from that from. Remember, forge an authentic sense of self. Courageously transform your life. So I guess if you could remember forging ahead. But still, I think this is the least favorite card of mine in this deck. But it doesn't, and it does not ruin the deck for me. I do like all the rest of them so far. I'm not too crazy over that one. I don't think I would read it like that unless I was doing a pull a card or reading for my own personal self. And if I was reading for my own personal self, I would look and read the meanings. But if I was reading for someone else, which I do a lot, that's not what I would pull from it by looking at it. Okay, we have the 8 of Fire here. Now, this is definitely Rider-Waite based. We have the 9 of Fire, which the 9 of Wands is kind of the wounded warrior that's standing in front of, like he's drawn a line in the sand. He's not letting anybody cross. He's in protective mode. He's standing up. He's in protective. He's protecting. So now you could read this as like that. Like there's definitely a protective shield around this person. He's in a meditation state. All his chakras are aligned, protecting yourself from negative energy or low vibe energy, or negative energy or bad energy. And you could have been wounded in the past, and you're meditating to get over it, and you're trying to unblock your chakras and put that protective aura, that protective light around you as you meditate. So we have the 10 of Fire, which to me, I think I've seen this before. I've definitely seen this before in a deck where the 10 of Fire is woods on fire. The Child of Fire, which would be the Page of Fire. I like it. You can read all these court cards, I think, pretty intuitively, pretty easy. The Explorer of Fire. She definitely looks like a Knight of Fire, for sure. The Elder of Fire. I really, really dig this card. I like. And a very different King of Wands here, King of Fire. So he's guarding the fire, Guardian of Fire. Okay, so of Air, which I like the butterfly, the new, everything is something new. It's a baby or something, new beginning, a little fish, a little deer, a little butterfly. What was the other one? A little snake coming out of an egg. So this is the Ace of Air. And the 2 of Air, which I could see this being easy to read if you're used to Rider-Waite Smith. It's usually the lady with the out in front of the ocean with the blindfold and the 2 swords across her. And this lady here, she's like out in the woods. She does have her eyes closed. She has one hand over the other. It looks like she's holding something. I'm not sure what it is. It could be crystals. But she's definitely looks to me like that she has gone off in nature to be by herself. Of course, this is the Gaian Tarot. So yeah, she's out in nature to be by herself to make a decision. She's got to think. She has to think about what she's going to do. She needs to be quiet and listen. Now this Three of Swords is very, very different. The only giveaway that you have with this card of the Three of Swords is, if you will look, under his book, there is a Three of Swords tarot card. Sorry. Three of Swords tarot card. I don't know what the book says. I would read this as he is heartbroken. This person is heartbroken, and maybe they're writing a letter to the person. Maybe they're writing a letter to themselves. Maybe they're journaling. Maybe they're writing a letter to do a ritual with, but I would definitely say that that's how I would read it. This person is grieving and needing to let off some steam, and sometimes writing it down is the best way to do it. All right, and the Four of Air. This is also very readable as traditional RWS. Getting some respite, getting some rest, getting some peace. Just being in the nest, being still. The Five of Air, also very RWS, traditional. We have some eagles that are having some conflict here. We have some squawking and some not getting along. This is the Six of Air, or Six of Swords. This is not a traditional Rider-Waite-Smith, but it's usually the lady in the boat carrying the child. Somebody's paddling them out of rough waters into smooth waters. But you could read it kind of that way in this one, is like they're moving on to things that are better for them. They're moving to a community where they're more aligned with the values and the same way of thinking, which, you know, you can be friends with anybody no matter how they think, but there's certain people that you align with, that you kind of think the same with, and you want to do the same practices with and hang out with. And I don't know, like there's a lot of people that wouldn't want to go to a retreat like this, or like if you like Metallica and this other person likes classical, you can be friends, but you're not gonna ask them to go with you to a Metallica concert. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, so that could definitely be read as that. This Seven of Swords, this is a little harder read for the Rider-Waite-Smith. So the Seven of Swords is usually betrayal. It is usually a betrayal. It is usually somebody stabbing you in the back, somebody lying to you. It could also be a very strategic person, and I think that's how I would read this card. Again, I haven't read the book on this, but I would say a person being very strategic about this map, about how to get to wherever they're going, and they're trying to find the most strategic plan. Got to have some strategy there. So that's how I think I would. That is the vibe I'm picking up. Somebody else may pick up something totally different, and you read however you read. We're all different intuitively. The Eight of Swords. This is also extremely different from the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith. A lot of the Swords cards or a lot of the air cards seem to be. We can look up the meaning just for shits and giggles. But anyway, let's read and see what we have here. Okay, the Eight of Air. A small group of people sit in a circle holding counsel. One man holds a talking piece and speaks while the others all attentively listen. Perhaps they are planning a political action. They might be supporting each other's dreams and goals. Maybe they are collaborating on an art project, or they could be participating in the deep transformation that happens when we tell our personal stories and know we are heard by others who deeply listen. When you get this card in a reading, you're being challenged to transform your vision into reality with a little help from your friends. In a circle share, everyone shares. The power and leadership rotates, unlike hierarchical models in the circle way. Christina Baldwin and Anne Linnea urges us to listen to each other with compassion and curiosity, and to ask for what we need and offer what we can. It may not be easy to concrete a vision with others, but the rewards of cooperation and collaboration are well worth it. May we all learn to speak with intention, listen with attention, and take responsibility for the well-being of the circle. Remember, speak with intention, listen with attention, tend the well-being of the circle. Okay. There is a group that I belong to that we hold space for each other, and we pass a crystal stone around, and he calls it a talking stick, and there's no judgment. Nobody speaks. You just vent or say whatever you need to say, and when you get finished, you just put it and give it to the next person. And it's a good way of hearing each other out, and to show support for each other in community. So that's kind of the way that I would read it. And then we have the Nine of Air, the Nine of Swords. She does look distraught. A lot of clouds. It looks like a little, some sort of a face up there. This is the card of anxiety and not being able to sleep and PTSD, and so I can definitely see that in this card. And the Ten of Air. But in this card, I feel like that this is where the birds fly. I would say in this card that that it's time for change. That it looks like the geese are in their V format, and they're flying south for the winter. So, but I would say move on from the situation. And we have the Child of Air. Love of butterflies, very cute, which would be the Page of Swords. We have our Knight of Swords, the Explorer of Air, and we have our Guardian of Air, which is the Queen of Swords, and then we have the Elder of Air, which would be the King of Swords. So he's just chilling out and concentrating and playing on his flute. Shuffle. Okay, maybe we have a card for the day. A collective card. General timeless card for whenever you come across this. You may need to hear this, and we will read it from the book. They're pretty easy to shuffle this way, but I think I would separate them several times in different little piles and shuffle, get them good mixed up. I feel it's this card. So let's see what we have here. Let's see what we have here. Ah, the Seeker. So we have the Fool card. Let's put our little things there. Okay, with the Seeker, and the Seeker is what we have on the front of the box. This big, gigantic box. See how big the box is? Huge. And then we'll look at the book and what it says about the Seeker. What do we need to know, Spirit Guide? Spirit, what do we need to know? New beginnings. The Seeker begins a journey, taking a moment to contemplate the road ahead, sitting down off the hillside. Perhaps they're murmuring a prayer or setting an intention. They travel lightly, carrying all they need in a bundle. A butterfly has been embroidered on the back of their vest, signifying their delight in taking wing and setting out on their own path. A great mountain rises in the east, and the river slowly meanders on its own journey from the mountain range down to the bay and the ocean beyond. The Seeker is at that stage of life between childhood and adulthood, when anything is possible. Their life lies before them like a page waiting to be written. With Fox as their trickster companion, who knows what surprises await them. Swallows and swallowtails flit and flutter around, guiding their way. I will say it's talking about age. I think you can be the Seeker at any age. I know I am. I'm 56, and I go, like, I have you never know when a new journey is gonna come. I go on new journeys. So I would have left I would not read about the age. I think it could be at any age. Teenager, any age. Anyway, when you get this card in a reading, you're starting a new journey with a beginner's mind. It's time to hit the road, either metaphorically or literally. Every time you set out on a journey, whether it's a one-day hike or a new phase of your life, you embark on an inner journey as well. Be open to all the twists and curves in the road, and be ready for wonderful surprises. Keep your heart open and maintain an attitude of vulnerability, trust, and spontaneity. Remember that many innovators, creators, and explorers were considered foolish by the conventioned wisdom of their time. Dare to take a risk. Before you is a brand new adventure, the chance for a fresh start and endless possibilities. Yeah, the Seeker in a lot of the cards. I have a lot of decks where the Seeker is like an old man. Which is the Fool card. If we're going to do the shadow side, you may be longing to seek more adventure in your life, but you're afraid. Maybe your responsibilities are holding you back, and it seems as though it's the wrong time to take a risk. Do you fear you have too much to lose? On the other hand, you may be too nonchalant, like a vagabond or an external child who refuses to grow up. It may be time to be more serious and settled. Be careful of a tendency to be naive or gullible. Are you being wise or foolish about your current situation? It does have journal questions. And then the remember part is begin your journey with a light heart and an open mind. Okay, so there we have it. And that is your reading from this deck. And if you liked my video, subscribe, like, share, and peace out.